Their eyes on Columbia after this USC student was tragically abducted and murdered last week. 21-year-old Samantha Josephson was found dead on Friday. The coroner's office says Samantha died of multiple sharp force injuries. Investigators say she called an Uber to take her home early Friday morning, but got into the wrong car. That moment was caught right here on surveillance footage in the 5 Points area, very close to USC's campus. You see the highlighted area showing Samantha on the curb, phone in hand. A black Chevy Impala pulls up. You see her walk to that car, open the door, and get into the back seat. Now, that same day, later that day, a group of hunters found her body in a rural area of Clarendon County. That's about 65 miles away from where Samantha was last seen in Columbia. Investigators say the murder suspect, Nathaniel Rowland, has lived in that area. And here's a look at him, a mugshot. Police say they found Samantha's blood and her cell phone in his car, that Chevy Impala. Now, police have not released a motive in this case, and reports we obtained show she had wounds from her head all the way down to her feet.
Last night, a group of students and staff gathered on the USC campus for a candlelight vigil in Columbia. Her parents were there along with friends and her boyfriend, who shared the last conversation he had with Samantha.
The last words she said to me over FaceTime on Thursday were that I was her person and that she loved me and that she could truly be herself around me, and I'm just thankful that she brought that out in me too. And I thank you guys so much. It's so comforting to see how many people showed up.
Now, in light of this horrific tragedy, colleges across the state are working to improve rideshare safety. Rideshare companies are too. Uber rolled out a new safety feature last year, which is available in some parts of the state right now. And colleges are urging students to use safety apps, which alert friends and family if something goes wrong. I know Brooklyn Cromer has been following this story, and she talked to Clemson University Police today.
Yeah, and Brooklyn is joining us live here in just a moment, talking about some tips that they have for students in response to this tragedy. And Brooklyn, I can imagine for parents who've sent their kids to college and for the students themselves, a lot of people have to really be on edge and really wondering what is the safest way to take Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, definitely. And Samantha's death has definitely raised some big questions, some big fears for students who use ride shares. Now, both USC and Clemson have been vigilant in wake of her death, to urging students to ask questions and telling them to travel in pairs before getting into an Uber or a Lyft.
I've gone through this, and I don't want anybody else to ever go through this again. I can't tell you how painful this is.
A dad's message heard loud and clear. Seymour Josephson spoke to a crowd of USC students on Sunday night, just 2 days after his daughter's body was found. Columbia police say Samantha Josephson was killed after getting into a car she believed to be her Uber.
You guys have to travel together. At night, she had absolutely no chance. None. The door was locked. The child safety lock was on. She had absolutely no chance in this.
Uber rolled out an emergency button which is available in 3 places in South Carolina, including Cherokee County, Charleston, and Richland County. If a driver or rider uses the button, key details like the caller's name, make and model of the car, and GPS location are sent to 911. Clemson and USC also use the Rave Guardian app, which is one of numerous personal safety apps available.
And that allows for the student to actually notify a friend or a family member or even the police department when they're leaving a situation. And if they have not reached their destination in the appropriate time, it will alert that friend or that family member, and they can actually either call them or they can reach out to the police, and it also shows exactly where they are.
And just up the road, hearts are heavy. It's a loss felt across the state, and it's bigger than any rivalry. Chief Mullen with Clemson University Police Department says it's a tragic reminder that bad things can happen anywhere, and urges students to stick together when they go out and report anything that seems strange.
I think it gives us all a wake-up call that no matter where you are, what environment you're in, that these types of situations can occur, that there are evil people that want to do bad things, and we have to be as vigilant as we can to make sure that we're not only protecting ourselves, but we're also looking out for our friends and colleagues.
And President Pastides sent a letter to USC students today asking them to follow a pledge to never use a rideshare service without following some very important safety tips. Cody?
So, Brooklyn, what tips are mentioned in this letter?
Well, the letter urges students to make sure the license plate, the driver's photo, and name all match up in the app before anyone gets into an Uber or a Lyft. Now, these are, of course, important tips for students and anyone who uses a rideshare program. Live in Greenville, Brooklyn Cromer, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.